Was that shit intentional? You have to understand that you are the character of your life, and the way you develop is going to directly, correlate to the trajectory of the persona that you emanate into the universe. And most of you guys go through life just drifting around like a fucking raft in the middle of the ocean. And so you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, was that shit that you created reflecting back at you intentional? Most of you guys didn't even attend, you didn't intend, you didn't have any tension. Your mind's attention wasn't at the tension to create whatever the fuck is reflecting back at you. That shit is just a concoction of the mediocrity that contaminated you while your subconscious mind's gates were wide open. And so the character that you develop into, you have to truly confront yourself and ask, was that shit intentional, or did that piece of shit just emerge out of the mediocrity that it was born into? Every day we wake up with the intention to create the best version of self. Every day we wake up with the intention to transform, to continue the infinite fucking process, to continuate the development of our character, to become the architect of self, and to recreate ourselves in the highest fucking image. Now, most of you guys didn't even intend to be that low quality piece of shit, inferior fucking hominid reflecting back at you. You didn't intend to be an addicted bitch. You didn't intend to be a fat fucking bitch. You didn't intend to be any of these disgusting fucking low quality traits that you have ingested and then reverberate into the fucking cosmos. You did not intend to be that. We intended to go years on semen retention. We intended to wake up every fucking day and hit the gym. We intended to hit the macro count, to read the books, to apply the knowledge, to grow, and to create ourselves in the best fucking image of self that we know we can be, because the image is carved into your soul of what the fuck you need to become. It's the blueprint to your fucking existence. And most of you guys just ruminate the fucking space and diverge this, 1% fractious fraction of what the fuck you could have been. A fractious fraction of the potential lying dormant within you. To sit there and to be a master at excuse making, to be a master at holding back your evolution and holding onto everything that is keeping you down. Most of you guys did not intend to be such a low quality bitch. You simply became that shit by never actually being aware to the fact that is what the fuck you are. Most of you guys don't even believe you have any problems. You guys could barely admit when the fuck you're wrong. But the difference between us and you is that everything we do, we reflect upon, and everything you do, you simply leave in the abyss of your unconscious mind to just sit there and ruminate and to, control your behavior. You guys don't even fucking control yourself. You guys are controlled by unconscious impulses to act in certain ways. The porn addiction. You get the urge, you stroke your dick, and now you feel like shit. You can't even go throughout public space without emerging that, zonderness that you hold deep within your soul, the emptiness that sits there and just dwells and ferments and, creates that low quality piece of shit reflecting back at you. You guys sit there and, you absorb in it. You sit there and you ruminate and you just allow it to permeate your fucking mind, to permeate your behavior, to permeate the way you move in the universe. You guys forget you only live once. The experience that you are now experiencing is a direct reflection of you. And if you want to experience a higher quality of existence, well, you need to become the higher quality thing. And the echelon of what you permeate your existence with is the direct correlation of what the fuck you are. And so while you keep demanding the world to change for you, how about you change yourself for the world? How about you change yourself for yourself? You want everyone and everything to conform to your perception, but you never thought about changing your perception to maybe align with something higher beyond you. You're so fucking selfish and self-absorbed that, you didn't even realize that if you changed yourself, the world would change as well, because the way you perceive the world is a reflection of you. because the way you're going to perceive the world, you have to understand that the way you perceive, you're perceiving the world through your mind. In your mind, what you hold your belief systems to, when you receive the world, through your mind, you're going to process it through your unconscious filters. And those unconscious filters is a direct reflection of you. And so the world is being reflected through you. And so you have to truly understand that if you're a low quality piece of shit, the world is going to look low quality. When you're a high quality individual, through the actions that you take daily to grow, well, the world is going to seem a bit different. Certain things won't bother you as much. You'll grow as an individual. You'll be able to respond with, higher efficiency to executing tasks to create a better life. You will, assert yourself in different ways. You'll be more confident. You'll have higher self-esteem. You won't need to conform to everyone's fucking perception and then extract validation to feel better for that low quality bitch, is a piece of shit. Because if you did not believe you were a piece of shit, you wouldn't need to extract validation to make yourself feel better. If you know you're not a piece of shit, well, you don't need anyone else to fucking prove to you you're not a piece of shit. If you need to prove a point, it's because you know what the fuck you're not, and now you're trying to prove what the fuck you're not by trying to prove you are. But to prove a point is to directly show us and reveal to us who you are within, which is not. We don't prove a point, we simply just fucking are. And we prove ourselves through the conduct. The way I conduct myself, the way you're conducting yourself, is going to prove who the fuck you are. And so you can sit here and you can act in posture and reverberate dominance, but in actuality, if you're gonna jerk your dick off, you are who you are when you're in the room by yourself. That's who the fuck you are. You are not who you are when you're trying to put on a fake smile. You're not who you are when you're conforming to everybody. You are who you are when you are by yourself, alone, and you betray yourself. And so every time you betray yourself, allow that image to reflect into your mind and then absorb it into your consciousness to remember who the fuck you are and who the fuck you're not. Because you are not who the fuck you pretend to be. You are that piece of shit who sits there and jerks off every night and then reflects it through their behavior by not being able to be a functional fucking organism in public. So the question for the fucking day is to ask yourself, was that shit that you created in the mirror intentional? And if it wasn't fucking intentional, you have to understand that you have a mental illness called lack of intention. You have an intention deficit disorder. And so your life is going to reflect the lack of intention through the gossip, through the Pornhub, through the addiction, through the vape, through the video game. You guys lack purpose and it fucking shows. Do yourself a favor and make the purpose of your existence to continually develop and compound yourself into a ferocious fucking primordial demon beast who just conquers himself every fucking day. You have to understand that most of you guys seek to passively assert and conquer other people. It was always about conquering self. How the fuck can you control other people when you can't even control yourself? Matter of fact, you're at the point where you don't even know you're trying to control other people because you're so disconnected to yourself. You guys don't even have a connection to your fucking self. And then your entire life you go as this unintentional concoction of mediocrity, just expounding into the fucking universe, which now we have to be aware of, because you decided to not be intentional with your existence, to not move in a trajectory that is best for yourself. We now have to be aware of the porn addict, vape addict, loser, piece of shit, failure, and now we have to see and deal with your behavior that you are doing unconsciously. The way you conduct yourself is automated by your belief system. And if you believe you're worth Pornhub, well, guess what? That's exactly how the fuck you're gonna behave. You're gonna be a addicted fucking low-level piece of shit. You can't even keep your eyes on the fucking prize. You're always looking at someone's dick print. You're always looking at some fucking tits, some ass. You have to understand that that's what the fuck you are. Just the lowest to the low. You're looking at the lowest chakra. You're trying to correlate yourself to the root chakra energy. You guys vibrate in your root chakras. You have to elevate beyond that. You have to look at your life and see how bad it really fucking is. Most of you guys stagnate. You have to understand that that shit is unintentional. And until you realize that you lack intention for growth, you lack intention to wake up and pursue the best version of you, you have to understand that your existence is just going to be this fucking mess of a unintentional disaster that is just pure mediocrity. And holy fuck, now we have to be aware of your fucking existence as you reverberate what the fuck you are through the electromagnetism seeping out of your heart. And it's like, fuck, if this is what the fuck you are, do some shit that's gonna benefit you. Most of you guys latch onto your life source and then drain it. You suck yourself dry. Most of you guys would suck your own dick if you could. You guys sit there like a parasite to yourself and drain yourself out of the dopamine that your body is creating for you to feel motivated to pursue your development and to pursue life in the right trajectory. Understand that you are a parasite to yourself, sucking yourself dry out of the life force that you contain to feel quick, instant gratification, aka pleasure, to pleasure that low quality piece of shit you know is a bitch, and prove to yourself that you are a bitch by having the need to desire to drain yourself dry. You guys are draining yourself, and then we have to truly ask ourselves, was that shit intentional, or did you somehow just stumble upon the mediocrity of yourself? Did you just somehow end up, did you sequence yourself through the paradigm you were never aware of to be a low-level piece of shit? These are the questions you have to ask yourself. Every day we wake up with intention. Every day you fucking don't. It reflects. Peace!